It is August 12th, 2020. Okay. I'm going to try to put into words what very seriously going for I guess you could call this what I'm trying to do, a dream. Like, very seriously trying to achieve a dream. And when I say that, I don't mean, people will be like, yeah, I'm a comic. I did it, I do it a couple times a year. I got booked, whatever. Like, none of that bullshit. Like, very genuinely doing this with the intention of having a serious career and just working at it and sacrifice. Like, so much sacrifice goes in, but it's not. I don't know. It's not a sacrifice that I'm unwilling to give. It's not a sacrifice that really bothers me. And I think that's because, prior to having however many years ago when I decided objectively, like, no, this is what I'm going to do, there's no other option. I would say that idea that got in my brain that made me start doing this has finally manifested itself in a way that I'm like fully in it. Like, when you first started that first step of like, no, I'm in this. There's still a lot of like weird hesitation. I'd imagine it's like being a skateboarder and dropping in on a vert ramp. I don't know why I went full rocket power with this. It's like when you get gnar, like when you totally want to get gnar and you drop in on a vert ramp and you're just like, yeah, it's like totally sweet because Tyler, man, like his mom has sandwiches and you always keep them in the lunchbox. You can go totally gnar. You can do a 20, 60, 80 flip, quadruple backflip, and then you can go back and chill out with the Capri Sun. I think that was just a 90s commercial. And all of that was just a 90s commercial. And like, what's up, Aaliyah? She's staring at me. But it's like, I would imagine it's like being a skateboarder when you drop in, when you actually do the drop in for the first time. There's a lot of fear and hesitation. Then the more you do it, eventually you become pretty comfortable with it. So I feel like that drop, I don't know, this is a stupid fucking metaphor. Regardless, the feeling, it's you get to a place where it's like, oh, there's just no other option. And I think part of me feels that way because I've tried all of the other, I tried to do that. Like, I actually did very genuinely try to, have a relationship, all right, get a regular job, go to college. Like, I tried to do that, and I did it with the level of vigor that I'm doing all of this with stand-up comedy now. Like, I did genuinely try to live like a normal person. And it made me fucking miserable, and it got me in trouble, and it just fucking sucked. Everything about it. It was like the beginning of Fight Club, except being black and worse. It was like Edward Norton just seemed really bored through for the beginning half of the movie. It was like a mixture of boredom and horrific racial terror and completely dysfunctional relationships that end with screaming people naked in the front of their apartment complex. That's a whole other story. Regardless, also, I was not the one who was naked. Regardless, there's this feeling that you get where I was listening to J. Cole again, the Love Yours. He says, there's beauty in the struggle. And I would say, I think I even talked about it in the podcast. I would say that it's hard to see that beauty when you were in the position that I was in. The position being, I'm doing the struggle on top of all of the regular normal people's struggles. So like, I'm doing the stand-up comedy grind and struggle or whatever, but then I'm also holding down a full-time fucking career type job, like a thing that people generally put their entire lives into. I'm doing that as my side venture. And then on top of that, with the buddy system, there's a whole thing. And there was no beauty in that struggle for me. I'm still trying to suss out what I was doing wrong in every possible angle. But at that point, there was no beauty in that struggle. And I know that going back, to trying to do something like that again would not lead me into the same beauty of this particular struggle that I have currently. So in the place that I'm at now, where working all day, I'll work. Hey, I'm not a fucking freeloader, all right? I'm not sitting up kicking my feet on your couch, eating all your fucking Doritos. That's not me. I work. I put in my time. I pay my bills, nigga. No, but that point where how do I put it? Okay, so that point where didn't, where I was doing all of this other shit that I hated doing. Fucking hated it. I hated all of it. And now I'm in a place where I'm not, Postmates. I don't do one of those hop, click, heel click things when the Wizard of Oz heel clicks. I'm not doing that on my way to Postmates work. Like, I'm not excited about that. But there is this level of freedom. I can decide, like, all right, I actually recently learned this. This is how much of a fucking maniac I've been my whole life because of the way I was fucking raised. No goddamn weekends. No days off. Dog mentality. In my head, I would get in my head and I'd be like, all right, you got to do Postmates until you get such and such amount of money. If you ever done Postmates, that shit, the amount of money you can make from one delivery can range from like $2.30 to $5 is pretty fucking high. It's usually about $3. And it takes you a good 15, 20 minutes to earn that $3. So you're trying to do that for God knows how long to get to this monetary goal, right? This big monetary goal that I try to make for myself. And recently, oh, I'll just work for like 2 hours. I'll make 7, 10, if on a good day, like $15. Then I'll stop. I'll eat some food. I'll watch an episode of She-Ra. And I go back for another 2. Like, I'm still having to learn how to pump the brakes, when to hit the gas. Like, I still got to learn all of that, but I'm figuring out. Regardless, that freedom, I'm not making as much money, but that freedom is what seems to be making me far happier. That flexibility, that general, like, I can decide when I want to work. I can decide for how long I want to work, and I know that when I am working very hard. Like, I know that in my soul, in my bones. And these rickety old bones, bone saw. I know that I work hard. I get that, but fuck. Okay, beauty and the struggle. So right now I'm definitely in this. I literally got punched in the fucking face for doing the struggle on the streets, nigga. I'm like the 50 Cent stand-up comedy. Y'all don't know me. I'm gonna make a whole comedy album about how I got punched 5 times. How many times? 9 times. Punched 9 times. How many times did 50 Cent get shot? Hold on, let's find out. All right, I was right the second time. He was shot 9 times. No, but unquestionably, since day one, I've been putting the fucking work in, and I continue to put the fucking work in. And there's a sense of pride when you're putting the work into something you give a fuck about. It's like, it's way easier to live life and be comfortable and be happy when I'm not spending every single second of my day on other people's goddamn time. Like, in traffic and headed to work and filling out stuff for work, and it's just dealing with other people's punk ass kids who they need to be dealing with. Like, all of the stuff all of the freedom that I have right now makes me happy. It makes it so that getting assaulted, speaking genuinely about it, like, it makes so that that situation doesn't crush me. Had that happened when I was also going to work every day, going to run comedy shows every day, apparently people fucking hating me every day, dealing with my family every day, being in debt, like, all of that stuff on top of minding my own fucking business and then having some maniac come from behind me and punch me in the fucking jaw, like all of that stuff on top of that absolutely would break a person. I don't think that's unreasonable. But in a situation like this where I can relax, where I can think, I have time, I can work out, I can work out, get buff, find that No, I'm good. Like I don't even know that's some fucking puss ass shit, by the way. Coming up from behind a person like that, like I don't even know what this person looks like, which is also kind of nerve wracking. But regardless, what was I saying? Oh, okay. Beauty in the struggle. Beauty in the struggle. All right. So now it's easier to enjoy the beauty of the struggle. It's easier for me to be like, well, that was fucking crazy, because I'm like, all of my fucking time isn't going to other people and work. And it just makes, I don't know, it just makes everything lighter. It makes everything easier. Super easy. It feels like I've been lifting huge fucking weights my entire life, and then all of a sudden someone's like, all right, here's a 5-pound one. What? Only 5 pounds of fist in my jaw? That's not that bad. I can survive that. I've survived worse. So, yeah, beauty in the struggle. And then what is nice about finally being in a place where I'm okay with how fucking hard it is, like it is what it is, I'll get where I need to get to. But I'm in a place where it's okay where I'm at. So then when I get a victory, it doesn't feel like a little thing. So for instance, like right now, that's why I started the whole thing. So I have a friend of mine who I've been hanging out with, and she is a platonic friend. Don't get fucking weird, guys. So then she let me stay. I'm in her apartment right now. She let me stay here because it has air conditioning. It has air conditioning. It's away from my family. Like, it is something I don't even know how to describe it. Something as relaxing as sitting down and not sweating. It's so weird. Like, but regardless, this is like this little. It's this baby win. It's like this little moment of someone's giving me a fucking break. Thank you, by the way, whenever you listen to this. I'll probably send it to you before I post it. If I post it, we'll see. But it's like these little victories that keep you going. Like, even if, I don't know, I come all over the floor, and then she's like, all right, Aaron, you can't stay. You can't stay here anymore. You got to get out. The little victory. It's just the little victory, the little fucking breath of fresh air. That Paul Ober guy posting on Instagram, being like, hey man, nobody's going to follow me because of it. I appreciate it, Paul, but no one's going to follow me because of it. That's fine. Just the fucking encouragement. This, literally the if you saw the Instagram post that he made, he's basically like talking about the assaultant that you know, follow me on. He's saying nice things, which is appreciated. If you watched that, literally the way he's talking about me and the way he's being supportive is imagine the absolute antithesis of that energy. And that's the type of energy I've been around my entire life. It feels like most of my life is people doing the exact opposite and saying the exact opposite anytime I would try to do something. So he's saying, you know, hey man, keep pushing, fuck them. The exact opposite would have been said to me when I was younger. Hey man, you need to give up. They're all absolutely right. You fucking suck and you're a waste of time. That type of shit. And it's like there's only so much that a kid can kind of handle. Like as an adult, someone saying shit like that to me, it's like, all right, well, I have the ability to remove myself from the situation. And because of that, I have more control over my mental and emotional state. But when you're a kid and you're just plopped into the fucking world and you're just plopped into any goddamn family, and your consciousness is plopped into any particular neighborhood, you don't have any control over the environment that's now molding the way that you look at the world. And so I can't, it is genuinely hard for me to describe what it feels like to have people encourage and help. I know that seems simple. I know that seems like obvious. Anybody that watched an episode of Full House would be like, well, yeah, you gotta help others. Like everyone, you know. So it's I don't know. It's just appreciated. This little victory right now means everything on a very, very long journey towards eventual success. So yeah, I don't know. If you know one person you think would like this, please share it with them. Thank you. I'm not gonna say your name. Thank you for letting me use this place as a sanctuary from the evils of the outside world. And till next time.